Hello guys, my name is Samuel Kamau. I'm a director at Excel in Style Consultancy Limited. At Excel in Style Consultancy Limited, we offer consultancy services to people who wish to start up a water bottling plant, juice manufacturing plant, or an alcohol manufacturing plant. Basically, we give you the guidelines on how to go about obtaining licenses. We give you a guideline on how to set up a standard plant that will be approved by the government bodies. That is stuff to do with public health, stuff to do with Kenya Bureau of Standards, and lastly, Kenya Revenue Authority. We offer you a step-by-step guideline on how to do every aspect of compliance to it. Today here I'm going to show you how to comply to the government requirements as far as water bottling process is concerned. So first thing first, I'm going to take you through how a standard water bottling plant should be. Number one, you will need a good source of water. In our case in point, we are using the county or the municipal water. The municipal water is water that is ranked among the dam water, so that is rainwater. Essentially, it is good water for drinking. So the process of purifying the municipal water is as simple filtration unit. So first thing first, you will need a water storage tank. It is advisable that you get a storage tank of more than 5,000 liters. If it's even possible, you can install 5,000 liters tanks that you can have two of them at any one time. So, like in our process, we have two water holding tanks. So the municipal water will get into the municipal water when it comes through. It will go into the two holding tanks, and then we will transfer the water to another holding tank through a filter. Essentially, the filter, what it's going to do is that it's going to filter out the unwanted components, the bigger components like dust. It will filter out the leaves that probably could be along the piping system of the municipal water. It could also filter out the mud that could come with it during the rainy season. So it is a filter that acts as a stoppage for any water that could be muddy, any water that could be soily, so that the soily water does not have a bigger impact on the normal filtration system. So once the water is filtered and it's held in the tank, we then start filtering it through the normal filtration system. So the normal filtration system we call it an ultra filtration system, and the water will first go through a carbon filter. So in the carbon filter, what you have at the base is either glass granules or sand, and then at the top you will have a layer of carbon. Then at the topmost, you can have another layer of carbon, depending on the micron size. So let's say, for example, in our sand filter, we have sand that occupies quarter of the total space. Then between the sand filter, we have carbon that is of 5 micron. And then at the topmost, we have carbon of 1 micron. So essentially, the water would first go through the sand up to the 5 micron, then to the 1 micron. So what this sand filter does is that it removes any pesticide that could be present, any herbicide that could be present, and most importantly, it removes the chlorine. Remember, the municipal water comes in as chlorinated water. The purpose of chlorination is to kill any microorganisms or bacteria that could be present in your water. So after chlorine has done its role, you will need to remove the chlorine because it does not bring out a good flavor to the final water. So after the sand filtration, we go to the first filter. It is a wound filter. The wound filter is a 5 micron wound filter. Essentially, it tries to trap any carbon that could leak from the carbon system. It also tries to trap any dust that could be present in your water, probably the dust that could not be filtered during the initial stage. After the wound filter of 5 micron, we will go to a carbon filter or another filter that is a span one of probably 2 micron or 1 micron, depending with how effective you would want your system to be. In our case, we've installed a 2 micron span filter. So remember, we're coming from a 5 micron wound filter. We are going to a 2 micron span filter. Essentially what the span filter does is that it brings out clarity. It tries to further clarifying your water and filtering it at an extreme level. So from the span filter, you go to another span filter that is of another micron size, that is 1 micron. So from 5, we've gone to 2, then we've gone to 1. So the importance of the 1 micron is just to further clarify your water, further and further. So from the 1 micron, we will go to a 0.5 micron, then to a 0.45 micron. After the 0.45 micron, your water now will go through what we call an ultraviolet system. The ultraviolet system actually deactivates or denatures any microorganism that could be present. So the UV filter sorts of kills the DNA that constitutes the microorganism present in your water. From the UV filter, we have a stainless steel holding tank. So from the stainless steel holding tank, that is where we can now do our analysis here to establish if the water has met the requirements set by the Kenya Bureau of Standards. One of the requirements that the Kenya Bureau of Standards demands is that we need to analyze for our pH. Remember, pH is very sensitive to our water because it is in simple terms, it's the acidity or basicity of a compound. Or in higher levels, it is the hydrogen ion concentration of our water. Remember, if the pH level is lower than 5.5, your water would taste acidic. If it's higher than 8.5, your water will be basic. That one contravenes the Kenya Bureau of Standards guideline on the specifications for water. So one of the analyses we'll do pH. We can also do TDS. TDS is total dissolved solids. We would want to establish how much of solids are present in our water. Of course, the requirement will be less than 400 milligrams per liter, but our hours ranges between 40 to 60 milligrams per liter. The other thing we'll need to do is electrical conductivity. It is also a measure of TDS. And the last thing would be the temperature of your water. Essentially, pH and temperature go hand in hand. So the two of them will be up together. Now, after the analysis of your water, that is when you can conclusively establish that your water has met the required specifications for normal drinking water. So after the holding tank, the stainless steel holding tank, we still pass our water through a 0.2 micron size filter of 10 inch. And then it will go to another UV. The reason why we have the two components is because essentially you might not know what could be present in your holding tank. So we would also want to maximize, we would also want to ensure that actually the water is thoroughly filtered and any organism that could be present has been denatured. So from the holding tank now, the water is allowed for packaging. During the packaging process, as you can see, the empty bottles are fed onto a conveyor. Then the conveyor directs the empty bottles onto a rinser. So as you can see, the rinser is turning the bottles upside down so that the bottle is rinsed at high pressure. So after the rinsing of the bottles, the bottles is ready for packaging. So the next step will be the filling stage. The water is filled to the required level, to the brim, so that we also establish that our water is actually greater than the set standard. In this case, today we are packaging half a liter. So we ensure that the water actually is filled to the brim. That if it's filled to the brim, then it means it's between 500 to 505. So that means that we are assuring that the volume is correct. After the filling level, the water goes to the bottled water goes to the capping section. In the capping section, a cap is introduced onto the filled water so that we can ensure the integrity of the product. So once it's capped, the water is now, a conveyor leads it all the way to the other processes. The other processes could be manual or automated, depending with your financial capability. In our case, we are doing it in a manual way. So first we will introduce the label. Then the next step, we are going to introduce the seal. Then the next level, we are going to introduce the stamp. Then the next level, we are going to shrink all of them. Remember, the seal is PVC, the label is PVC, the stamp is paper. So once all of it has been placed there, We shrink the label, we shrink the seal, and making sure that the KRA stamp is available. After that, we package it in a shrink wrap. Then we are using a gas model to shrink the whole wrap. This is because we would want to save on time, and at the same time, we would not want to expose our employees to unwanted unsafe behaviors. Manufacturing is the backbone of our economy. We understand that it involves a lot of commitment, it involves a lot of financial aspect, it involves a lot of engagement. At Excel in Style Consultancy Limited, we are offering a one-stop shop for you. Essentially what I'm saying is that if you would wish to venture into water bottling, into juice bottling, into alcohol manufacturing and bottling, you can come into us. We will help you set up a good plant. We will help you follow up on the necessary licenses. We will tell you where the licenses come from. We will tell you the requirements before you are issued with the licenses. We make sure that you are up and ready. If you would wish to import machineries, we would also guide you on the type of machinery that is needed. If it's in a water bottling plant, if it's in a juice bottling plant, or even an alcohol manufacturing plant, we will give you a guideline on the type of machinery that is required of you by the government. We will also come in place to help you set up a company. We will also help you set up the plant itself. And at the same time, we will help you run. We will come in and show you how is it that a good operating plant should be. We will also help you set up standard operating procedures for each and every aspect of the entire processing line. Last but not least, we will also help you set up a good marketing and sales team. Remember, we have over 37 combined years in the beverage section. So we understand the challenges that come in the market. We also understand the challenges that you get in your logistic systems. We are going to come up with a very good system specifically for you. We will train the marketing and the sales team that you have in place so that by the time we leave you as a person who's already making money. That is essentially what Excel in Style Consultancy Limited does. We hope to do business with you.